Well, today our mic quality is not so great because in the time I have to record this video is the time landscapers are in my yard. Ooh, look, here's my soy boy photograph at the mug. I don't know why I'm wearing this shit because season 7 was so fucking bad. Anyway, but I thought sort of a segue, a transitory thing I can do. Let's talk a little bit about politics while talking about entertainment. As you know, I'm sort of slowly shifting towards entertainment stuff. But really, when it comes down to the culture war between us and the social justice warriors, entertainment is a political venue, a political fight ring, so to speak, anyways. And I thought I wanted to break down a little bit of Canto Bight again. And I want to come at it not so much from a political perspective as a moral perspective. See, The Last Jedi is a failure in every last way of filmmaking. It is literally one of the worst movies ever made, and if you like it, you're a bad person. You're an idiot, and you have no taste. One of the most egregious flaws of the film does happen to be the moral messaging. And Canto Bight is the worst moral messaging of all, even worse than the moral messaging with General Holdo, General Gender Studies, because when you dissect what the very, very obvious subtext of the scene is trying to tell you, you find that it's highly immoral. It's telling you 2 or 3 things. Taking advantage of animals is wrong. Slave labor is wrong. War profiteering is wrong. And they proceed to fuck those 3 messages up almost as soon as they present them. Let's start with the war profiteering one is wrong. This one's pretty easy. See, what was supposed to be sort of a woke, kind of deep moment for that war profiteering scene was them explaining that these rich casino people are war profiteers, and they sell to both the Republic and the First Order. First of all, no, they don't. The Republic and First Order have completely different weaponry, different ships, different gear, and different amounts of both. The First Order, as I've previously discussed in reviews of The Last Jedi, has about infinity Star Destroyers and an absolutely inexhaustible supply of super weapons. They did the up, down, left, right, BA, whatever the fuck, so that if you eliminate the Starkiller base, they have a super duper, super triple, whatever the fuck Star Destroyer, the Supremacy, on the nose, ladies and gentlemen. Supremacy. They also, behind the Supremacy, have... Keep in mind that a lot of people stress the importance of blowing up the Dreadnought in that movie. They had like 11 or 12 Star Destroyers, all of which can bombard places from orbit. The Dreadnought was utterly meaningless. And then, once all of those were destroyed or disabled, they literally dragged a piece of a Death Star gun onto a planet. It didn't even have wheels. They dragged it physically across the desert to fire it into the final rebel base. So, clearly, the rebels who have a couple of rinky-dink installations here and there and some very, very poor quality ships, far worse quality than the actual rebellion from the previous Star Wars saga. These are supposed to be the somewhat shoddily constructed but officially backed Republic Army assets that were apparently obtained from the war profiteers who were selling superior stuff and superior amounts of stuff to the other group. And the thing is, if you were to cut off these war profiteers who hypothetically are selling to both sides, you're cutting off the Republic's access to arms, and the Republic is not even 10% of the strength of the First Order for some reason. And the First Order has, again, infinity super weapons. Literally infinite super weapons. Every time you destroy one, even if you destroy 3 in one movie, they have more. So, to cut off the war profiteers who sell to both the First Order and the Republic would only hurt the Republic. It would only hurt the rebels. Therefore, why the fuck did you bring that up? Oh yeah, on-the-nose messaging about war profiteering in real life. I lack the words. This is why I'm stuttering. I lack the words to explain how retarded it is to put that in a movie where it does not make sense. It does not add anything to the story. It does not say anything compelling. Nor does it tell a lesson that's actually moral. It's just there for Ryan Johnson to, I'm so moral. No, you're not. Ryan Johnson, you're a bad, evil person. We've demonstrated this countless times. So, no, you don't get to jerk off. No, bad boy. Bad. Bad. Only orgasm denial porn for you. Only edging. Bad. No completion. Next is taking advantage of animals is bad. No. Lots of people, I'm not the first person to have said this. I mean, like Rags and Dishonored Wolf and Mahler talked about this. If you set these space puppy horse things free from their captivity, where they're fed, sheltered, and only used to race, which is not a particularly harmful thing. If you set them free into the wild, where they will almost certainly be recaptured or killed or starve, you're not helping those animals. People who are vegans and vegetarians, otherwise known as fucking idiots, have these beliefs that they would help, say, animals like cows, or help animals like dogs, by setting them free from human control. That is a lie. Both cows and dogs are among the most successful mammalian species for one reason: the symbiotic relationship they share with human beings. Cows would not be as successful or as widespread, and they would be the ultimate prey species for predators, as their ancestors used to be. The aurochs being hunted by fucking wolves and shit, and lions and whatever the fuck, because they are a prey species. And their relationship with us is still they are a prey species, only they are fed, sheltered, kept, protected until they are eaten. They would get none of those before they're eaten stuff unless they weren't meant to be eaten by us. Dogs, most breeds of dogs cannot survive in the wild. They have been bred for over 12,000 years. Actually, I think about 14,000 years is how long dogs have been co-evolving with human beings, depending on human beings for their shelter and for their pack hierarchy. They literally have Stockholm syndrome for us. They love us even if we are bad to them. And animals like dogs can't actually hunt for themselves. Some breeds maybe, but most can't. They would starve in the wild without human aid. So removing them from people wouldn't help them. Horses, as herbivores, have slightly less of a problem with being wild. However, horses benefit greatly in the same way that cows benefit due to their relationship with us, and we don't even eat horses that often anymore. The burden of pulling a plow or allowing a human to ride you pales in comparison to the benefit that the human feeds you, shelters you, and protects you from potential predators or enemies, and helps you mate. So it's actually evil to remove the horse from the racetrack, because it's not like they're torturing the animal, they're just making it run, something it does already. And of course, it's hyper manipulative that they literally make like a 14-foot horse with the face of a small puppy. That's more manipulative than James Cameron was with Avatar. This was the most shamefully obvious. Like, people talk about the porgs or the crystal foxes. No, just the puppy face is fucking, it's degenerate. It's ridiculous. It's absurd and disgusting. It's repulsive. And the message about this repulsive animal is equally fucking repulsive. Last but not least, the child slaves. This is the most evil message the movie presents of all. It's absolutely horrendous. So, they, Rose and Finn, save the horses, or doom the horses, more accurately, but they leave the children. However, they make sure to stress to the children that you are the resistance, we are the resistance, and the moral messaging is that you must inspire these people. I'll tell you exactly why they don't save the slave children. Social justice warriors worship oppression as not just a currency, but almost a blessing from the social justice god. You are weaker, stupider, less important, less worthy of anything, whether it's praise, adoration, being listened to, being respected, being treated with human dignity. If you're not oppressed, you have no value. You are not even a human being to a social justice warrior unless you are oppressed, which is why these people have the utmost racial and sexual hatred for men. These people hate white men especially, but anybody who's white and anybody who's a man, even if you're a man of color, a colored man, if you will, they hate you. They absolutely hate you. They do not respect you. They do not care what you think. And they have no more respect for a male feminist or a male social justice warrior than they do for someone who is male and not one of those. The only thing is that they will pretend to value your company until you do literally fucking anything to let them know that you are both white and male, and then they will destroy you. And if you apologize, they will bite you harder. They will attempt to rip your throat out faster if you apologize for what you are. So, I'm sorry I got off on this tangent, but the point is, if you're not oppressed, you're not human. So, you would actually be, in a social justice warrior eyes, dehumanizing the slave children by freeing them, especially since most of them were white and several of them were male. You would, if you removed their chains from them, you would literally remove their humanity from them, and thus saving the animals was instantaneously the right thing to do. But to free the slave children who could actually potentially fend for themselves, unlike the animal, you would be literally killing them in the eyes of the social justice warriors, because you would just remove their oppression points. You would remove their progressive stack rank. And you can't do that. You must virtue signal to them. Literally, it was Rose going, look at my gay ring, my gay Dakota ring. I am the resistance. Help is coming. We are fighting on your behalf, and we are so cool. Do you want an autograph? It was virtue signaling. It's, look at me. I'm so special. I'm virtuous. Love me. Okay, bye. That's social justice. That's all it is. It's that naked and empty and vapid and vacuous. It's so pretentious and pompous and fake. And of course, people who believe this are fucking delusional and insane. Thus, I've gone over at length, and I'm not going to lengthen this video by doing any more than mentioning it. I explained in many different podcasts and in my own reviews that even though this is an expressly feminist written movie, it sucks at feminist messaging, and it makes women look stupid, incompetent, selfish, arrogant, attention-seeking. It makes women look extremely bad. And it's proof of how misogynistic feminism actually is when you see what Kathleen Kennedy and Ryan Johnson's idea of an idealized woman is. Somebody who literally sabotages their own military endeavor and causes the death of thousands of their comrades. That's General Holdo, who's just nothing more than a hood ornament who does nothing more than fan service, like General Leia. That's their idea of her. Rey, who has no personality, no past, no real attachment to the events of the story. She's literally nothing but personified Deus Ex Machina, there to save people and to win every fight she's in. And her only purpose is to make literally every other character in the movie, whether they are a rebel or a First Order Empire or whatever, her job is only to make other characters look bad. She makes Finn look bad, Kylo look bad. She makes Han Solo look bad. She makes Chewbacca look bad. She really makes Luke Skywalker look bad. She makes Poe Dameron look bad. Her job is literally to ruin the image of everything around her and be a drain on the film. And that's worse than her just being good at everything. That's worse than her having no training. The fact that she has no character and her only function is to ruin other characters. She's a black hole of quality filmmaking. That's the greatest sin of Rey. So this is why I'm explaining to you that these people don't even respect women. They do not respect women. Neither do they have any compassion whatsoever for anything that is white or male. And all the function of characters like Rose Tico and Finn, and even guys like Poe Dameron, I believe he's Italian or something, so he's not white in the same way. Holdo is female. Leia is female. Fucking anybody who's white and male gets fucking ruined. But even characters like General Phasma, who have all of about 6 minutes of screen time in the two movies, and she's only there to get humiliated, beaten, and then killed. That's their idea of a strong, intimidating female villain, let alone what their idea of a good female hero is. That's all I should have to say. I mean, this video is far too long. But here's where you can say where you have a piece of entertainment that is bad on every facet. I've gone over other things like the editing, the directing, the dialogue, the script, the pacing, the character, the fact that it's a 7-act movie that repeats act 3-4 times. You know, I've been over all this shit before, but when we're just talking about the political, the moral messaging, the thematic elements, and what they're trying to say versus what they actually say, you realize that The Last Jedi was a movie made by evil, insane people. And I'm not kidding, and I'm not being hyperbolic. The Last Jedi was made by people who are both insane and crazy. I mean that. Do not mistake me one more time. The Last Jedi was made by people who are incompetent, evil, and crazy. Thanks for watching.